please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Hi, very good afternoon. You're watching Your Stocks on CNBC TV 18. I'm Ekta Batra and with me is Nigel D'Souza, and it's turning out to be a fairly steady session for us. In fact, we've managed to maintain 10,600 from the time we hit that level, so that's positive. And we have the Bank Nifty off the day's high but still holding steady. We have a lot of the pharmaceutical stocks which are gaining, but on the downside we have a lot of the telecom stocks which are declining. So that seems to be the key highlight in today's trading session. Let's get started, however, with the top stories that we're tracking, and then we're going to get talking about all of the stocks in focus. But before that, let me welcome my co-anchor. Hi, Nigel.
Hey, Ekta, as you said, we conquered the 10,600 mark in opening trade itself. But from there, we've not really been able to build on. Though if you take a look at it from the lows that we saw last week, well, we have gained close to around 200 points. Then the markets are holding on to gains. Just to give our viewers a quick alert, I remember in Friday's trading session, at around this time, we were celebrating because India was doing quite well against South Africa. Well, in some news coming in from Cape Town, the match is underway currently. As a cricket supporter, you'll be very happy that, in fact, yes, the match is underway. As an Indian supporter, I think I'm still praying to the rain gods that, in fact, maybe you get a bit of an interruption. But let's see, it's day 4. Let's see what happens from there. But we have to talk about the markets. We'll keep getting you the updates in terms of what's going on the cricketing field. But we have Gaurang Shah, who's in the studio with us, as well as Prakash Gaba. Thanks so much, gentlemen. Very good afternoon.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for coming down. Well, our first caller is already in. So we have Rupesh, who calls us from Nasik with a query. I think he has investments in Bombay Dyeing. Hi, Rupesh ji.
नमस्ते सर.
Namaste.
बॉम्बे डाइंग का शेयर थे मेरे पास में लगभग 20,000 शेयर है. करीबन 3.5 से 4 साल हो गए. 50 रुपए के आसपास 50 रुपए की बाइंग थी.
वाओ वाओ, ऑल राइट. और रुपेश जी, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल कंग्रेचुलेशंस. आप लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टर हो?
हाँ.
ओके, ऑल राइट.
और प्रकाश एक ये भी है, इंडसइंड बैंक प्रकाश सर के भी पोर्टफोलियो में है. मेरे भी पोर्टफोलियो में है. लॉन्ग टर्म आईपीओ के टाइम से है.
आईपीओ के टाइम से इंडसइंड बैंक.
Wow.
इंडसइंड बैंक.
Congratulations, Rupesh ji. I mean, you're making a lot of money, so that is good news. Let's address both the queries first. Prakash, what you have in your portfolio, the investor Rupesh has been tracking that. It's IndusInd Bank. He's got it from the IPO. So he's definitely had a good new year as well. And, Bombay Dyeing, I think we'll get both the opinions going in from there. Prakash, you start off.
Well, IndusInd Bank, I disclose, I also have it since IPO. And I have some decent quantity. Thank you very much. And it's a hold for a long term, I would say. Don't even think of selling it. Bombay Dyeing certainly is looking good to me. The way it's trading looks like it's heading to levels close to 300, 350 zones. So your cost price is so low, just continue holding it. And who knows where it goes. The basic is given a buy signal somewhere closer to around 100 zones, is still into a buy mode. Even if you do get corrections in Bombay Dyeing, just don't worry, hold on. Strong support 240 zones.
Okay, and Gaurang, what would you recommend on both Bombay Dyeing and IndusInd?
Good afternoon to all of you all. Well, on IndusInd Bank, I reckon with what Prakash has just mentioned, we continue to remain extremely positive. And the best part about this particular bank, Ekta, is that every quarter, they raise the bar for performance. So my guess is that there's a long way to go for IndusInd Bank before he needs to book profits. On Bombay Dyeing, however, don't have a specific coverage, but 22,000 shares, if I'm not mistaken, at 50 rupees. Well, if you want, you can diversify into other textile companies. Coverage that we have, Arvind as well as Raymond's.
Okay, well, let's get going in terms of another query that we have. We have Sarita, who writes to us from Kolkata. She holds 320 shares of Jindal Steel and Power, that's JSPL, which she's bought at 82.2. Oh, since the past 2 years, and she's a long-term investor, wants to know whether to hold or sell. Well, we've at least started off this show on a very positive note, and we've got some really good, smart traders who've, or rather investors, who've joined in with their queries. And legitimate ones, because they're making a lot of money. Should they take profits at these levels, or should they probably sit tight and try and see whether there are, there's more to come? So Gaurang, what would you recommend on this first? JSPL, they're obviously optimistic in terms of fundraising, what they want to do with Oman operations, etc.
Yeah.
Good to go?
Well, Around 60-65 is the level wherein we initiated a coverage on JSPL Ekta, and our target was, I think, 165-175. At 262 on fundamentals, I can only say that book your money off the table, and if you want to stick with the metal pack, then I can possibly identify Tata Steel as an alternative investment from a long-term point of view.
Okay, all right. So that's a bit of a switch is what Gaurang is suggesting at this point of time. By the way, you know, we were just talking about the cricket match. The Indians believe we have got another wicket, but unfortunately it's been referred to the third umpire, so we'll be waiting by. But for the time being, market and good news from the cricketing field as well. That third umpire decision went in our favour. So India's picked up the third wicket. South Africa 66 for 3. We're keeping an eye out on that one, but we're also keeping a closer eye on the markets. The Nifty still hit a half century, but it's not more or less unmoved since then. You know, we are holding with a gain of around 50 points. But we have another caller, Gurunath, who calls us from Pune. He has investments, I think, in SBI. Hi, sir.
Hello.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. How can we help you? What is your query?
My query is that, sir, I am holding the SBI since last 3 months at a price of 324.
Okay.
So, what will be the target for after 6 months, sir?
Okay, so you have been holding it for a few months. Just wanted to understand, you're a long-term investor, isn't it? If you're going to make money, you can hold it.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
No. If you're going to make money, then you are okay with holding it, right? You don't have any time horizon. You don't need to sell the position anytime soon. You're okay if you have to hold it, you can hold it, right? Long-term investor.
Yes, I am a long-term investor.
Super. All right. Thanks so much for that clarity. Gaurang, coming across to you. Been holding SBI for a few months. I think, you know, in the past you have told us that if you want to play the PSU banking pack, then I think SBI would be the stock that you would be looking at. It's bought at around 325 or so. Hold on. Will you make some money in the longer term or switch?
No, definitely hold on, Lijan. And the problem is that most of the investors have got stuck into some of the PSU banks post the announcement of 2,11,000 crore of recapitalization. And since then, of course, the stocks have, you know, corrected downwards after the brief run-up that we saw. I think a lot will depend now upon the Q3, Q4 earnings and the next fiscal. And over there, our sense is that you are going to see a gradual improvement for some of the PSU banks, including State Bank of India. We remain positive. The only problem is, first, the acquisition price, and second, the time horizon. So, firstly, if you can average at current levels, either at 300, 305, wherever the stock is trading, I would advise you to, you know, average maybe half the quantity. And second is extend your time horizon from 3-6 months, 1 year to maybe about a year and a half, 2. And I'm quite sure you are going to see elevated level on fallback of earnings improvement as well as the entire recapitalization that the government has planned.
Okay, all right. So that's the word coming in on State Bank of India. We have another query now. Anila writes to us from Satara. She holds 200 shares of India Cements at 147. Long-term investor wants to know whether to hold or sell that particular stock. So sitting on profit for Anila on this one as well. Well, you know, Prakash, I'm going to ask you first on this. Long-term investor, but in any case, based on the history of the charts and what you would be recommending, say on a medium-term basis, what would your call be on India Cement?
Well, India Cement sector has been into some kind of a consolidation for the last couple of months. Very strong support in India Cement, the vicinity of 170. So the uptrend is still intact, has not been compromised, and this you will see in the days to come, much higher levels to come. We have an all-time high somewhere closer to 230, recent high. I think even that would be taken out. It's a matter of time. So it's a good hold for long term.
Okay, all right. Then hold at current levels is the advice that's coming in there. By the way, just keep an eye out on a couple of stocks. I think from the broader markets, a couple of stocks were looking a little nervous. Apollo Hospital, pull up the intraday chart. That stock has slipped a tad bit. And Voltas as well has slipped a tad bit from the high point of the day. Maybe we could add Ramco Cements as well.
Well, let's get in another query now. We have Vivek who calls us from Rajkot with a question, and he has investments in BPCL. Hi, Vivek.
हाँ जी मैडम,
हाँ
बीपीसीएल लिया हुआ है 700 रुपए पे 100 क्वांटिटी है.
अच्छा, और आप कितनी देर के लिए होल्ड कर सकते हो?
लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए है, 3 to 5 स्टेल के लिए टारगेट जानना चाहूँगा.
Okay. All right. First, Gaurang, let me come to you on this one. And I'm not sure if there was an adjustment which has taken place. But in any case, if you could respond in Hindi along with the details of the adjustment and a 2 to 3 year perspective.
Sure. So, इस पर्टिकुलर शेयर में अगर मेरी भी याददाश्त सही है तो बोनस का ऐलान हुआ था करीबन 1 या 2 तिमाही पहले.
1:2, yeah.
1:1
and it was in the ex date was July 2017.
थैंक्स नाइजल। तो अगर आप इसको प्रोपोर्शनेटली एडजस्टमेंट करते हैं विवेक जी, तो आपकी जो खरीदारी का भाव है वो 700 से बहुत नीचे आ जाएगा। मौजूदा स्तर पर 495 के आसपास, 500 के आसपास हमारी राय है कि आप यहाँ पर बने रहे लंबी अवधि के नज़रिए से। और सबसे खूबसूरत बात तीनों ही ऑयल मार्केटिंग कंपनीज़ की है कि सरकारी कंपनी के होने के कारण इनको डिविडेंड बहुत ही अच्छा देना पड़ता है भारत की सरकार को, क्योंकि भारत की सरकार सबसे बड़ी शेयरधारक है इस पर्टिकुलर कंपनियों में। तो नज़रिया है बने रहे। खाली एक ही दरखास्त है आपको कि आप अपना जो बोनस शेयर्स मिला होगा, जो आपको क्रेडिट हुआ रहेगा आपके डीपी अकाउंट में, उसकी गिनती कर करके फिर आप यहाँ पर विभाजन कीजिए कि आपकी खरीदी भाव क्या है।
Okay, all right. A bit of a spike in the last few minutes, and that's primarily because Infosys has decided to make its move. You pull up the Nifty, you will see we've quickly gained roughly around 5 to around 8 points. And Infosys is the stock. A bit of a spike coming up there. It's a heavyweight on the index, so maybe in fact the street is now trying to factor in some numbers that are due later this week. And in fact, the stock has moved to the high point of the day, and that explains why the Nifty again is moving to its high point of the day. So keep an eye out on that one. But even from the broader markets, PFC should come up for you on the screen. That stock's doing well. Tata Pi, remember forever that stock couldn't cross the 90-95 rupee odd mark. Now it's at around 100 rupees. I think it's a multi-month high for that one as well. So just keep an eye out on a couple of these stocks. But our next query is in. Kiran writes to us from Hyderabad. She holds around 1,000 shares of Dr. Lal Path Labs at 920 rupees. Oopsie daisy. And you know, she is a long-term investor, wants to know whether or not to hold or to sell. Oopsie, unfortunately not making any money there. Prakash, Dr. Lal Path Labs is the stock that we're talking about. Making a loss of around 25 rupees approximately. What does she do?
Well, it's into a sideways consolidation after an up move, which basically means this looks like a continuation move. So I think 860 seems to be a strong support zone as long as it holds upside is on. Only thing is needs to take out the high of around 910 zones. Once that happens, I think heading to levels go to 950. His loss could be converted into profit. So just might as well hold on.
And Gaurang, what about you? Dr. Lal Path Labs, do you track this stock?
Well, no specific coverage, Nigel, but since the time it got listed, it has shown terrible underperformance. So in the relative sector, if you may, in healthcare that is, I would advise the investor to move into Apollo Hospital. I know the stock is in the news for some of the wrong reasons, but we are quite optimistic on the earnings that the hospital has delivered as well as the capex that they have lined up.
Okay, all right guys, we have to wrap up the show on that note. Thanks Prakash and Gaurang for joining and taking us through all of those queries. That's all the time that we have in the show. You can keep sending us all of your queries